So you've got a week of practices under your belt now. How's special teams shaking out?
I think it's good. I think we're a lot further ahead than we were last year at this time in fall. A lot of depth. We had a real solid spring on special teams, and it's carried over. And you can definitely tell that the work that we did in spring is carried over, and we're where we need to be.
We've kind of heard from every coach that everyone seems to feel like you guys are further ahead than you were last year. I'm curious your perspective on that with your group.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's because we've all been together for a year now too. And last year we were all new, and so not the players know what we want, our expectations, and they're buying into what we got going. So it's showed a lot of improvement.
Last year you had two very veteran guys, kicker and punter. It's a little different this year. What's been the, I guess not to transition, but just the process of locating a guy, that really hasn't done the job yet?
The best thing about that is we got those guys, the guys that are filling in those spots, because you're correct. Last year we had two veteran guys, and they were good here for a lot of years. But the guys that are going to replace them, they got an opportunity to be here last year, right? So they're not new. They were here all year with us. Caleb and Logan and AJ has been a guy who's actually punted in the game. We're good at long snappers, so we do have a lot of experience. And the guys that are new have been here, so it's not like they're fresh off the streets.
Yeah.
So I feel good about that.
We saw Caleb make a couple of kicks, I think 30, 40 yards today. How much work do you expect those kickers to get throughout the month of August?
Well, right now we're down to one right now, so I'm kind of like holding back on him because I don't want to overuse his leg, but they're going to have to prove that they can go into that first game and do some things. So kind of backing off a little bit, but still getting as much work as possible so they stay fresh.
You mentioned that you guys feel, even in your group especially, that you are ahead of the schedule compared to last year. What specifically do you think has shown the most improvement from last year to this year?
But just the way we practice, knowing the systems. Last year around this time, they were learning all my new schemes, right? This year they've had a year in them, 2 springs in a year, a full year. So now they're not thinking as much. There's a lot of carryover. So that's why I feel like there's a lot of improvement.
Is there when you're going with a kicker that hasn't really kicked at this level, is there a particular drill or something you can use? You can't totally simulate what it's going to look like in a game as far as pressure goes, but is there something that you can try to at least give them an idea?
Well, they always kind of like when everyone else is doing their own thing. When we're practicing, they're doing their own thing. The best thing to give them a little bit of pressure is when they got to go out there and kick and execute in front of everyone else. So that's as close as we can get to giving them a game. Like now their peers are watching them. Now they got to go out and execute, and I think that's something that a lot of times you'll see them come and do that, and they don't execute because they're not used to being in front of guys, and they got to get used to that. So that's kind of what we do.
Is there something maybe on a first game where you're kind of looking at a guy like that and just sort of, how do you deal with a guy that's never kicked before during his first game?
The way I deal with it, I pray. All right? I'm like, I hope he can get in there. Like I don't know what to tell you on that. Like, hopefully he has some confidence in himself to get in there and do it, and hopefully you got the right guy doing it. So, it's kind of like you can't put too much pressure on them, right? You just got to let them do their thing.
In the spring, you described AJ as kind of expected to be the guy to fill in with Max more in a swing sort of role. Mm-hmm. Would you still say that's an accurate description of where things are at, or is it a little more competitive?
I think it's a little more competitive than that than you think. I think Max got an opportunity to focus more on just punting, which he didn't. He's always been the swing guy, so I think that he's been able to be more of a threat to AJ. It's always good to have two guys that can do it. We're going to probably take that right down to the first week of the first game and kind of see where we're at with that.
How's this unit changed since the spring game?
What unit are you talking about? The specialists?
Yeah.
Since the spring game, it's pretty much the same as the spring. Yeah, a lot of carryover from spring. We didn't lose any guys. The only thing that's changed is we got a couple guys injured, so it's been just Caleb. So that's the only thing. But we got 2 real good long snappers. I think we're good at punter. We just kind of got to find what we're going to do with our kicking situation.
What growth have you seen?
Oh, what growth?
Yeah.
I feel like they're very. That group is very. They really handle their business very professional about what they do, And a lot of times they're on their own, and and they handle their business and do what they're supposed to, and it shows when we get into team periods that the way they execute. So it has been a lot of growth.
When it comes to the return game, how difficult is it to work on that when you're in a camp setting where contact is just limited by necessity?
We try to simulate the speed aspect of it, but the physicality, I mean, you never really can get to that, so really you won't get to the physicality part until the first game. The last thing you want to do is try to go live on kickoff or kickoff return in practice and lose a guy doing that. So, I don't think anybody in the country does that. You just got to try to give them the speed aspect of it. And then when during drills, you can kind of be a little bit more physical during the drills aspect, but live, you can't really do that live. So you just got to work it and work through it as we go during the season.
When it comes to identifying people on the return, reliability or big play potential?
I would like to have both, right? But it's going to start with reliability first, because ball security is number one, return game, right? We want to get the ball back for the offense, right? So if we got a guy back there who's reliable and catch the ball, and we always want to have that big play capability, but if you don't have that, then you got to fair catch it and give the offense an opportunity. You don't want to lose the ball. You got to take care of the ball. If we have to take it on the 25 or where it's at, then that's what it is. It's going to all depend on if we can find that guy who can do both.
I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name properly, so I won't try. But the young man from Japan, can you kind of tell us about him and how you guys?
So when I got here a year ago, he would come out and, Coach, I want an opportunity, and so went a whole year, didn't really have a chance for him, I didn't have a spot for him. Then he came to one of our camps, and I was like, okay, this guy's. He got an opportunity. He got a chance to be decent, right? So, but we still didn't really have a spot for him. And then finally, a spot opened up for him, and he came and he proved that he belongs here. And right now he's down, but hopefully that we can get him healthy and see if he can compete. But I didn't find him. He found me, and I think it was a good find. And so I'm looking forward to getting him going.
How do you say his name?
I don't know how to say his last name,
Okay.
but his first name is Tetsu.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
I would just murder that last name.
So
I could barely say English names.
was he on campus as a student?
Yeah, he
or-
was. He
okay.
was on campus as a student. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
I think he's been here 2 or 3 years.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a good young man.
He's on the roster as a senior. How does that kind of work with his eligibility?
They're still looking into his eligibility, but he might have more than 1 year left.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, anything else?
So,
Thanks.
Sorry. Go ahead.
so
Last one.
special teams is kind of its own phase of the game. What skill sets are you looking for? Guys who might be starting on like kickoff punts.
Same aspects as offense and defense. Good athletes, physical, guys that can run, right? Guys that play with intelligence, right? To me, it's the same as offense and defense. The same skill sets you want on offense and defense you want on special teams.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Was it just like getting back on a bike?
Basically, basically, yeah. Just got right back to what I've been doing, and it's been nice to get back out there with the guys and be around everyone, team again.
I mean, when you got back in the spring, how long did it take you to feel like you were 100% back?
That's a tough question.
Or do you, I don't know if you even still feel that at that point yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back. I think I definitely think that I'm in a good spot right now. It took a little time to get back to where I was, just physically, but I think I hit the ground running in spring, and I had a good start, and I've been building on that.
When you started a lot of games here, missing a season, do you come back with the idea this job is mine, or how do you approach that knowing you have so much experience in that position?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go in there and have the confidence to think that the job is mine, but just like anyone else, you got to out there and prove yourself, just like anyone else every other day. Got to go out there and win the job again and go and prove myself.
We were talking with your coach about the difficulty of really simulating special teams play in practice. You've been through this. Does it make you a little nervous? Because there's just no way to do full dress for special teams until you get to game day.
Yeah, no, I don't think it makes me a little nervous. It's an absolute advantage to have all the experience that I do. So, I can pick up the things that really relate from practice and try to emphasize those while I'm there. And then I can also realize the things that maybe aren't going to get drilled as much in practice. So I can just get my mind right for that scenario when it comes.
Do you, given what you went through, do you Are you totally not looking behind your shoulder anymore? Are you totally looking ahead, not worried in the least little bit that everything is okay?
Yeah, I try to focus on the positives whenever I can. The scans that I've had have come back good recently, so focusing on the good news that I do have. Obviously, there's still a chance that things could change, but I'm praying that they don't, and I'm thankful that the Lord has kept me healthy so far.
Probably like looking in the mirror now too, that you have a beard and hair and everything.
Every day, I'm so thankful for the blessings that I've been given.
Yeah.
It's been a tumultuous year. Can you sum that up? Put that into words, like kind of what it means to be back this year?
That's hard to just put into a sentence or two, but it's just felt like coming back home. It feels like this is what I need to be doing, and this is exactly what I want to be doing. So, getting back with everyone like that it's been great for me. It's helped me out a lot.
What'd you find out about yourself as a person during that process?
I figured out that, a lot of the times you gotta just bear the uncomfortable truth yourself and put your head down and go to work. A lot of the times the situation isn't going to change unless you change it yourself. So it taught me just to really put the work in, and if something's going on and I want to change it, then try my best to do that.
Every coach we talked to said that it seems that you guys are ahead of schedule compared to last year. From your personal perspective, with your return, where do you feel like you are personally in terms of compared to years prior?
Yeah, I think I'm right where I need to be. We definitely have gotten some great work in with the new guys that we're going to have in there. Everyone seems comfortable. We're hitting the ground running, and I think I'm right where I was, or right where I need to be.
Does what you do change at all depending on who's back there to catch it? Do you make any adjustments, or is it just your job is pretty much the same thing every time?
There's no adjustments, no. I mean, they're both right-footed punters, and they both have right-footed kickers as well, so it's not like we have to switch anything for left-handedness or anything like that. So yeah, it's just my job. Throw the ball back. That's my job.
On kind of a lighter note, long snapping is such a specialized position, special teams. Does that apply anywhere else in your life? Like, I know kickers are really good at kickball. Does that show up for you anywhere else, like being able to snap it like that? Or?
Notoriously, I'd say that specialists are probably pretty good at golf. I wish I could say that was the same for me. I'm not getting into my golf groove quite yet, but yeah, I don't know, just small kind of things that are similar to golf, or kind of just real tedious, smaller input things like that. So yeah, something like that. It's just smaller things, more specialized stuff like that.
For sure. How did you end up long snapping? Like, I'm sure you played other positions in high school, and this just kind of came about. Like, how does one become a long snapper?
Yeah, I actually played O-line in high school and linebacker, mostly linebacker. But I figured out that I was pretty good at long snapping I was a senior in high school, from the high school that I was going to go to when I was in 8th grade. He came down to our 8th grade practice and showed us a little bit about long snapping, because he had just committed to a University of Nevada, Reno on a full ride. So it got my interest, and then I started talking to him and his dad about getting some practicing in, and then they took me under their wing and taught me a bunch of stuff and pretty much everything I know. So I just started working with them and working with the best.
Anything else?
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
Season ends at Boise State, your college career is over. When this JC ruling came through, what was going through your head? What was your process of deciding I need to come back, or I'm done with college?
Well, I knew I wanted to come back, so that was an easy decision, right? JUCO ruling, it was amazing. I was excited. I was blessed. Everything I was hoping for, it actually happened. So it was great.
When did you know the guys were looking into the JC rule?
I kind of saw it on Twitter, and then I got to Coach Bray and Coach Chance, kind of asked them how they feel about it, what they're thinking. And then they kind of just text me a few days after, and they're like, "Yeah, we're ready to go. You come back." So
what were your plans though before you saw some possibility?
Well, yeah, my plan's been just gonna try to go out there and do pro day and try to get a shot at the league. But I'm excited I get to come back. So now the shot get to be even better.
What do you feel like you need to show, the next level people this season?
I just need to show consistency, right? Consistency doing my job. I need to make some plays, some big plays actually, and then just be consistent, detailed as possible, and show them that I can cover, I can tackle, and I know my role.
It's like that pick on the team sideline today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Coach Chan said in the spring that you really were really taking advantage of that second opportunity. Did you feel like that reinvigorated your approach, getting an extra year here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just motivated me even more. The season ended last year, and it wasn't how I wanted, right? So just getting this chance just means everything. So I'm just gonna go full go and give it everything I got to this program and to these guys.
Following up on that a little bit, just like you talked about how you didn't see it coming, but I'm curious if you or Nico or other players that have considered it were just wow, a Vanderbilt quarterback went to court and this is how it happens. I just have an extra year. That part's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. With college football, right? You never know what's gonna happen. So just always stay on your toes, and sometimes you get lucky.
You've got 3 guys back there that they seem to have a lot of confidence in at that spot. How does that work between you 3, and how do you foresee that progressing throughout the season?
I just think it's a lot of selflessness, right, in our room. Different guys have different skill sets, right? So some dudes are really good at tackling, some dudes are really good at covering, some dudes are really high IQ. So it's just wherever we need you, man, you're gonna play. And we're not selfish, I want to see the next man win. They want to see me win. So it's just teamwork, selflessness. That's what we pride ourselves on.
What do you think your biggest strength is of, you talk about some guys are more physical, some guys are better in coverage. Where do you think that your strongest attribute lies?
Personally, I would say my coverage, right? I think I'm strong in there, and then I also think compared to last year, I've grown with my just overall scheme knowledge, game knowledge. So yeah, I'm happy with those.
How much stronger is the defensive back room as a whole compared to a year ago?
I mean, we've had guys, right? We've pretty much had the same guys, but the difference between last year, we were very young, right? So the guys we've always had we've always had talent, right? But I think the experience is going to bring us to the next level. So yeah.
What does Skylar do for this room, just kind of on the whole? It
Oh.
seems like he's a leader.
Skylar's coach. That's another coach for me out there. Just trustworthy guy, man. He's a leader. We follow him, and we go as he goes, man. And it means everything to have him in his room, because without him, it would be really hard to function. So, we're lucky to have Skylar, and we're following suit.
When we talked to him on Monday, I believe it was, and he kind of talked about being able to shepherd along some of the younger guys like Trey Glasper and dudes like that.
Yeah.
How do you kind of see that play out? He seems very happy in that role, just kind of leading.
Yeah. I think he's extremely happy. And the thing I like about our room is we go above and beyond, right? Obviously, we get here for meetings, we do what's required, but what I like about the young guys, man, is they're always willing to give an extra hour, an extra 45 minutes. It doesn't matter how long, but they're always willing to go extra. So I'm right in there with Sky, man. So it's awesome.
What's it been like having Coach Cooper vacate linebackers and come work with you?
Yeah, I've loved working with Coach Coop so far. I think he's a great coach. I love his coaching style. I think he's very detailed, and I think he makes things a lot more clear than what we've had previously. So I love working with Coach Coop.
Anything else? Thanks, Tyrice.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.